Hello and welcome to another viewer submissions video. It has been such a long time, so I thought for this occasion I will voice over this one. We are right off to such a good start. This area has been stunted before, let's say, but it is being done extremely well by Cobra. Quite an original little barrel roll to start off with, and such a smooth 180 to finish it off. Even though it's been such a long time since the last compilation that I've made, you guys have not been sitting still, especially in the Discord server. There have been some people that have just been going at it, and one of those is Pella, who has just not been sitting still. Just look at this. I thought that deserved a moment of silence, because what could I possibly say to add to this? Look at how little space there is left. And on every attempt, it seems like they had to do the entire bit before that as well. So every attempt looks like it would have taken a minute. That will have taken a long time to get right. Next up is something that almost looks like luck. Judge for yourself. It is such a smooth landing though, and judging by the amount of fails that Squishy Crab sent in, it does seem to be intentional, which is impressive. Next up, the most cinematic of all entries today, which requires no further comment. If only every stunt video did have such a good camera path to go with it. Next up is Kota VR with a stunt. This was the end product that they came up with. The consequences for failing are pretty severe, like it can definitely go wrong. But in one of the earlier attempts, they had this. And honestly, if I had been Coda, I would have pretended that that was definitely on purpose, just gone with it, but that's thanks for the honesty in that one. Next up is Op 8, a staple as well out of these viewer submissions. They have so much space, the entire desert, and they chose to go over the tiniest two little ramps, and it is a true miracle that they managed to land on that. Next up is Pablo finding out exactly how tough the cactuses are in BeamNG, or should I say cacti, I can never remember. It's a neat little flip, but only if you land this perfectly on the tiniest landing on this planet does it actually make it really impressive. Little spoiler, but so what? If you've played BeamNG and you have tested the mud that is in this very specific place, you may have noticed it is quite bouncy. Now, you can't just throw your car at that a lot of times and see if you land it, and that's exactly what Flessid did here. There you go. I hope you enjoyed that. We're not going to question why the mud is so bouncy. That is just a thing. And we are back. Like I said, someone has not been sitting still, so it only felt right to have a second entry by Pella as well. Truly, I don't know what to say to this, because it was a barrel roll that was set off by hitting the building with the front tires, or both right tires basically. It was a double barrel roll and a flip, 180, I think. It was unclear and absolutely super impressive. Once again, well done on that one. Gaming Reflexes is next up with the closest, absolute closest you could get to that roof. Where we land, I don't know. They put a landing bag in the middle of town somewhere, but how close it got to that building just feels very satisfying to me. Now, next up is a jump that has been done before, because this is very much a ramp that has been set up for this in this modded map, but has it ever been landed this accurately? I mean, judge for yourself. I think that is very impressive. What I quite like are stunts that are original, ones that you haven't seen much before, and Skyward definitely delivers on that. It is a front flip between two buildings, beautifully executed, and it's pretty cool in the way that it is mid-air, that the rear wheels get hit to set off the flip, and then the front wheels land on the ramp. The rear wheels don't even touch the ramp, and still it is a perfect landing onto the next part. Unfortunately, after that, not a perfect landing onto the road, but it is actually in good enough condition to drive off. Now, unfortunately, it is not so much original in the fact that it is a Charrier on the West Coast, which is a fairly common combination. So here is a muscle car doing a barrel roll, and then halfway through catches a lot of air and still somehow lands. That's pretty fun. And here is a little reminder that you don't need to have your wheels on the floor to do a cool stunt. Why not use the roll cage for what it is built for, to roll your car into a front flip onto a building. Next up is another Charrier, this time going very, very fast over this road in Utah, doing the most smooth step up jump I have ever seen, right onto the road. Perfectly executed, driving off as if that never happened. Just so nice, very well done. If from seeing these stunts you've gotten motivated to try some yourself, it might be worth joining our Discord server. Here is Ozercraft working on a drop down into a very, very deep landing. Quite a difficult one. They were kind of working out. This was one of the attempts that hadn't gone perfectly yet, but it did inspire Sky in this case to try this stunt themselves, and then they put a whole load of mattresses there and sort of, yeah, pretty much landed it perfectly. Some bent wheels. I think it's very brave to try the Miramar as a vehicle. Very fun stunt idea, and it is fun to get inspired by other people doing the same thing. Now, if you want to submit one of these clips yourself, go to the Google form that we have for that specific purpose. You can find that in the description, as well as a link to the Discord, where we talk about this kind of thing and organize some other events. Now I want to leave you with a last entry by Blackjack, racing around the docks here in a Charrier, doing some stunts, and that will be our outro for this video. I hope you enjoyed it, and I will see you next time.